Alright, I got a couple emails last night with a bunch of questions that I'm sure a lot of other people might, find useful. So I figured I would post those questions in a video. Yeah. Okay, these are some of the questions from one of my friends. How many people have seen you without your dentures? My dentist, my sister, and my kids. And that's it. And I just don't feel comfortable, showing people what I look like without them because I haven't totally accepted it myself. That's why. So, until I accept it myself, then I'm just not going to be comfortable in front of other people. It just is what it is. Um, how did you react the first time that you seen your face without dentures? Ugh. I cried my eyes out. I sat there, I stared at myself for a good, 20 seconds, and then I just boo-hoo cried about it. I felt so down about it. But after I had that little crying festival in my bathroom, I realized, you know what, Christy? You have the potential to do this every single time you see yourself without teeth. So you're going to have to, come up with something here. And that's what I did. I will tell you what I did because that ties into this next question. And that is, do you manage to forget your image without teeth? I wouldn't say I forget. I mean, I know what I look like without them in. I know it doesn't look fantastic at all. Not even close. But here's what I tell a lot of people through messages, and that is this. And this you can apply to so many areas of your life, it's not even funny, really. There's some thoughts that we need to keep in our mind at all times, and those are any thoughts that are positive or uplifting that, benefit us as people in general. Or thoughts that, that make us grow and, help us gain knowledge and wisdom over the years. Things like that. Things that build up our character and stuff. Those negative thoughts should not take residence in your head. They should not. You should treat them as what I call them transient thoughts. They are homeless people. They bounce around from place to place and they do not stay in one particular area for very long. That's what those thoughts are to me. So when I'm in the bathroom brushing my grill, I'm not thinking too much into it. And if one of those thoughts happens to pop up into my head, look in the mirror, Christy, look, you don't have any teeth, you're toothless, and you're 27, you look like shit. I'm going to think, not today, because when I put these bad boys back in my mouth, I'm going to look great. And that's what I tell myself. Anytime one of those bad, nagging thoughts comes into my head, I let it go in one ear and out the other. I don't pay much mind to it. And it gets me by in a lot of areas of my life. So that's what you got to do. You got to kind of let it come in and go out. That's what I do. Do you have problems with your gums? To where it hurts and you have to remove your dentures. I have before, and usually that comes from them not fitting properly, when my gums start to shrink and I need to reapply the cushion grip, because I haven't been going to get professional relines, and I'll tell you why. If I would have gotten them relined every time I have needed to since I got them out, I would have spent a crap load of money. And it's not that I don't have it to spend, but it's why spend it if you don't have to? So I haven't been doing that. Oh my god, I got deja vu, and I want to go through my videos and see if I've said the same exact thing before, because I'm pretty sure I did. That was weird. Anyways, so I've been using cushion grip for my relines, and it works pretty good. And I'm thrilled that I now found out that they do sell it at CVS, so I don't have to order it online and wait for it. I can just go and stockpile it when I want to. So when they start getting loose and it's time to reapply the product, there will be like some irritation in certain spots. Like one hot spot is like the back over here. That'll hurt. And like at one time when that happened and I didn't have any more cushion grip and I didn't know that they sold it at CVS, like I dumped so much powdered adhesive on that spot to kind of build it up to get it off of that spot it was rubbing on, and it worked. I was able to keep my teeth in my mouth and still eat and function without it stabbing into that spot. I'm not recommending you do that because I know that's probably a very horrible practice. Like I said before, I'm not a professional, but that's just what I did, and it got me by until I found out that, you know, cushion grip is right up the straight, and therefore I have no problems. This last go around, it was like right here that was causing me problems, and it hurt like hell. I mean, it really hurt like hell. So yeah, I did have to take them out then, but I got the cushion grip and everything's all good now. So next, is your denture very big? It's not. Especially like the bottom. Like I look online and I see pictures of other people's dentures and stuff, and like how it comes down far and then goes out. I experienced a lot of bone loss before I had my teeth pulled, because like on the bottoms, like not on the top, it was on the bottoms, because the decay on the bottom teeth was way down into the bone. I mean, it was really bad. So after I got my teeth pulled, yes, I experienced rapid bone loss, and I'm telling you, like on the bottoms, there's hardly any bone left. I mean, it's very, very thin. So my denture on the bottom, like right in the front especially, is just teeny, teeny, tiny, thin, you know, it's narrow, it's, yeah. So, but the top, I showed it before, yeah, it does. I don't know why it does this either. I guess I just don't know the shape of my mouth too well, but it is pretty bulky, like right on the insides of the teeth. I mean, but it doesn't bother me. It did at first, but I got used to it, and it's not a problem. And you know, I expect, you know, next go around it's not going to be this bad. So can you show it? And I don't want to see your face without dentures, but the size of what you have in your mouth. I already thought about doing that, and I'm probably going to do it. I'm probably going to take some pictures of my teeth, and if I do that, then I will put it on the forum, which, by the way, is denturesanewsmile.ning.com. So whenever I get around to taking those pictures, if I do decide to do it, then that's where I would post them at, so that everybody can get a nice good look of what I'm working with here. They're not fantastic. I'm going to let you know up front, they are not great. So, yeah. Alright, you say okay, no, does the denture change the shape of your mouth and face? Yes, absolutely, because if I didn't have these in, like I said, I experienced so much bone loss that my face, I do look like an old woman. The dentist told me up front, that's what's going to happen. You're going to age rapidly. You're not going to look the same without your teeth in, and that's exactly what happened, and that's why I haven't accepted it yet, because my mouth, it goes in, like my lips are really skinny and narrow, and it just, I hate it. I hate it. So without my teeth in, I do not look the same. I don't look like the same person at all. So yeah. You say many things that are very positive and reassuring, but what are the problems that you encounter? Here is the deal. Everything in life is in comparison and all about your perspective. And when I compare what I have now to where I came from, and the toothaches that I used to have, the constant throbbing and pain, the humiliation, like all of those bad things that happen, when I compare that to what I'm working with now, that is why I say I don't really have any problems, because to me, in perspective, they're not problems at all. Yes, they get loose. Yes, I have a difficult time eating some things occasionally, and you know, it can be kind of aggravating from time to time, but even when I get a sore spot that really, really hurts, I don't consider that a problem because of where I came from. So that's how you got to look at it. Like, you have to, like, change your perspective on it. So that's why I'm able to be so positive, is because before it was just total chaos. So I don't have any problems, really. I have the same issues that anybody else does. It just doesn't really affect me at all, really. I don't have a problem with it. And then I posted on Facebook all of the nightmares I had about my teeth. Before I got my dentures, like, I have nightmares anyways. I'm plagued with it. I think it runs in my family. My kids have the problem. My grandparents had the problem. I have very, very detailed, vivid, crazy, crazy dreams. And that's for, like, you know, another video on my personal channel. But so I used to have a lot of nightmares about my teeth falling out and stuff like that. Well, the past several months, I have had, you know, an occasional dream here and there about, like, losing a tooth on the denture, or like breaking them, or, you know, whatever, just random stuff. But that's all subconscious junk that, you know, like I said, those transient thoughts that I let pass through the day. Well, when I go to sleep, my brain digs those little thoughts back out and is like, here, look. But it's not a problem at all, because, like I said, I have nightmares anyways about, like, way worse shit than that, like planets coming in to collide with Earth. So that's one of the messages. Now, the next message is, I gotta make this quick because, like, I'm, like, really racking up the minutes here. Let me see. Okay. Talking about, like, some people who can't get their dentures out. Like, this girl is asking me if that is a problem. When you first get them, hopefully you've got some really good suction going on, because the bottoms, that's one thing. I had good suction on the bottoms at first, actually, but the tops, like, I could not get out, and a lot of people have that problem. You have to think of it this way. As a matter of fact, give me a minute. One of these bad boys. You see that little hook thing that, you know, you stick it on the your window and you hang shit off of it and stuff like that. Like, it gets suction and it's hard to pull it off. So when you want to pull it off, you don't just sit there and tug at it, because you're going to get nowhere with that. You work around the edges to break that suction off of it, and then it loosens up and it pops right off. Your teeth are no different. What I do to get them out when I've got fantastic suction going on, and that's exactly what you want, because you don't want them, like, flopping all over the place. I take an index finger, put it right back there, up on the ridge, like up on the ridge back there. Put that there, take the other one, that there. I look like a horse, I know. And then I just work it back and forth, and it pops right out. It creates like a air pocket in there, and it releases that vacuum suction going on, so it's not a problem. It doesn't hurt when you take them out. For me, it didn't hurt. It was just awkward. It was really awkward. I wasn't used to that type of sensation, and it freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie, I did not like taking them out, but you get used to it. So no, it doesn't hurt. Then she says that she's spending $10,000 on getting her teeth pulled and getting permanent dentures, and she's going to be going a while without teeth. Well, a lot of people do that, and they get through it. It sucks, I know. It really does suck, but it's not the end of the world, and, like, the light at the end of the tunnel is that you're going to have a nice smile at the end of it. I talked to people who had to go that route that didn't want to leave their house. Then I talked to a girl who got a job without her teeth, and I mean, she was young. She was a young mom, and so, you know, you make the best of your situation the best way you can. If you don't want to leave that time, you know, whatever. And yeah, I've talked to people who have went and bought surgical masks for that kind of situation. However, I do want to say that $10,000 I think sounds a little bit on the high end. I'm not an expert, but it seems like you might be able to get a better price on that. Mine, mind you, they were immediates, because you're saying that you can't afford immediates, but those are actually cheaper than the permanent ones. And my whole setup costs, like, give or take, about $4,000. Gosh, then Then my shade. I don't remember my shade. It's not the whitest one. I'm running out of time, but I'll finish it in another video another time. Sorry.